Introduction: a legend in the making. Alexander the Great, one of history's most iconic figures, rose from a prince in Macedonia to a king who would conquer much of the known world. Born in 356 BCE, Alexander's ascent was driven by a combination of ambition, education, and an unyielding belief in his destiny. From a young age, he was inspired by the heroic tales of Homer and the teachings of his mentor, Aristotle, which shaped his worldview and fueled his determination to achieve greatness. Upon ascending the throne, Alexander inherited his father's vision of a united Greece and a powerful Macedonian state. But Alexander's dreams extended far beyond the Greek world. As both a king and a conqueror, he embarked on a campaign that would reshape history, setting out to build an empire that stretched from Greece to the farthest reaches of Asia. Early life and education: the making of a king. Alexander's early years were marked by a privileged yet disciplined upbringing. His father, King Philip II of Macedonia, was a formidable ruler and military strategist who had transformed Macedonia from a weak kingdom into a major power in Greece. Alexander's mother, Olympias, was a proud and ambitious woman who instilled in her son a strong sense of destiny. She claimed that Alexander was descended from Achilles, the legendary Greek hero, which fueled Alexander's desire to achieve heroic feats of his own. As a child, Alexander was tutored by Aristotle, one of the most renowned philosophers of the ancient world. Under Aristotle's guidance, Alexander studied philosophy, science, literature, and politics. Aristotle's teachings fostered Alexander's curiosity about the world and encouraged him to view himself as a philosopher king, a ruler who could combine wisdom with power. This education gave Alexander a strong foundation in Greek ideals and the belief that he could spread Greek culture to the lands he would later conquer. Alexander's early education instilled in him a unique combination of intellectual curiosity, military acumen, and a sense of divine purpose. By the time he was a teenager, he was already displaying leadership qualities, earning the respect of his father's generals and preparing himself to lead Macedonia. Ascending the throne, the young king takes command. In 336 BCE, when Alexander was just 20 years old, his father, Philip II, was assassinated. The sudden death of his father thrust Alexander onto the throne at a young age. Despite his youth, Alexander moved quickly to secure his position. His first priority was to eliminate potential rivals and stabilize Macedonia's rule over Greece. Many Greek city-states saw Philip's death as an opportunity to break free from Macedonian control, but Alexander acted decisively. He marched south to Thebes, which had openly rebelled, and crushed the uprising, destroying the city as a warning to others. This act demonstrated his resolve and sent a clear message to the rest of Greece. Alexander was not a ruler to be challenged. Through a combination of force and diplomacy, Alexander reasserted Macedonian dominance over Greece and secured the loyalty of the League of Corinth, a coalition of Greek states united under Macedonian leadership. With Greece pacified, Alexander turned his attention to an even greater ambition: the invasion of the Persian Empire. The invasion of Persia, a campaign of conquest. In 334 BCE, Alexander crossed the Hellespont with an army of approximately 30,000 infantry and 5,000 cavalry, marking the beginning of his campaign against Persia. The Persian Empire, the largest and most powerful empire of its time, was ruled by King Darius III. For Alexander, the invasion of Persia was both a mission of conquest and a personal quest for glory, as he sought to surpass the achievements of his father and the legends of Greek heroes. His first major encounter with Persian forces occurred at the Battle of the Granicus River. Despite facing a larger force, Alexander employed bold tactics, leading a direct assault that threw the Persian army into chaos and secured his first victory on Persian soil. This battle set the tone for his campaign and boosted the morale of his troops, who began to see Alexander as an invincible leader. Over the next few years, Alexander won a series of decisive battles, including the battles of Issus and Gaugamela. At Issus, he outmaneuvered Darius's larger army, forcing the Persian king to flee and capturing Darius's family. This victory undermined Darius's authority and established Alexander as a serious threat to Persian rule. The ultimate showdown came at Gaugamela in 331 BCE, where Alexander's tactical genius once again prevailed. Facing a massive Persian force on an open plain, Alexander executed a daring maneuver, using his cavalry to penetrate the Persian center and shatter their ranks. Darius fled the battlefield, and the Persian Empire effectively fell under Alexander's control. This victory solidified Alexander's reputation as a master strategist and marked the beginning of a new era in which he would rule over the former Persian territories. The conquest of Egypt. A king becomes a pharaoh. After his victory over Darius, Alexander continued his march into Egypt, which had long been under Persian rule. The Egyptians, weary of Persian domination, welcomed Alexander as a liberator. In 332 BCE, he entered Egypt without resistance and was declared pharaoh, a title that affirmed his authority and connected him to Egypt's ancient religious traditions. In Egypt, Alexander founded the city of Alexandria at the mouth of the Nile. Alexandria was intended to be a center of Greek culture and learning, a place where East and West could meet and exchange ideas. Over time, it would grow into one of the most important cities of the ancient world, renowned for its library, lighthouse, and diverse population. Alexander's time in Egypt was marked by a profound sense of destiny. He visited the oracle of Ammonius at Siwa, where he was allegedly recognized as the son of Zeus Ammon, reinforcing his belief in his divine mission. This encounter strengthened his conviction that he was not merely a conqueror but a godlike figure destined to rule a united world. The march through Central Asia, a test of endurance. With Egypt and Persia under his control, Alexander set his sights on Central Asia, a vast and challenging region. His march through Bactria and Sogdiana, modern-day Afghanistan and Uzbekistan, was one of the most arduous phases of his campaign. Unlike the organized armies he had encountered in Persia, Alexander faced guerrilla warfare tactics from local tribes who used the rugged terrain to their advantage. In these remote regions, Alexander adapted his tactics, dividing his forces into smaller, more mobile units that could respond quickly to ambushes. Despite the harsh conditions, Alexander pressed forward, determined to secure his control over the region. His persistence paid off, but the campaign took a toll on both him and his men. It was during this phase that Alexander married Roxana, the daughter of a Sogdian noble, as a symbolic gesture of unity and to legitimize his rule over the local population. The Central Asian campaign tested Alexander's resilience, highlighting his determination to expand his empire even in the face of overwhelming obstacles. It also revealed his ambition to integrate the peoples of his empire through both force and diplomacy. The Indian campaign, the edge of the known world. In 326 BCE, Alexander crossed into India, venturing into territories that lay beyond the known world of the Greeks. Here, he encountered new challenges, including powerful Indian kingdoms and war elephants, which posed a unique threat to his army. The most significant battle of this campaign was the Battle of the Hydaspes, where he faced King Porus. Porus, a formidable ruler, put up a fierce resistance, using war elephants and his soldiers' familiarity with the terrain to his advantage. Despite the difficulty, Alexander adapted his tactics and secured a hard-fought victory. Impressed by Porus's bravery, Alexander allowed him to retain his kingdom as a vassal, showcasing his respect for worthy adversaries and his willingness to incorporate local leaders into his empire. However, the Indian campaign also revealed the limits of Alexander's ambition. His soldiers, exhausted and far from home, refused to march further east, forcing him to abandon his plans to continue deeper into India. This moment marked a rare instance where Alexander's vision was constrained by the practical limits of his army's endurance. The legacy of a king and conqueror, uniting East and West. Alexander's campaigns left an indelible mark on the ancient world. By the time of his death in 323 BCE, he had created one of the largest empires in history, stretching from Greece to India. His vision went beyond mere conquest. He sought to blend Greek and Eastern cultures, creating a new world where ideas, art, and traditions could flow freely between diverse civilizations. Alexander's policy of cultural integration included the founding of cities, the promotion of Greek language and education, and respect for local customs and religions. He envisioned a world where Greek and Eastern peoples could coexist, united by shared values and mutual respect. This vision laid the foundation for the Hellenistic Age, a period of cultural fusion and intellectual flourishing that would influence both the Western and Eastern worlds. Despite his early death, Alexander's legacy endured through the Hellenistic kingdoms that emerged after his empire fragmented. His ambition, courage, and vision inspired countless rulers and generals throughout history, cementing his reputation as one of the greatest conquerors of all time. Conclusion: Alexander's rise and enduring legacy. Alexander's rise from a young Macedonian king to the ruler of an empire that spanned 3 continents is a story of unparalleled ambition, strategic brilliance, and relentless drive. His conquests were not only military achievements but also a transformative force that reshaped the ancient world. Alexander's vision of a united East and West, his respect for diverse cultures, and his efforts to integrate Greek and Eastern traditions set the stage for a new era of cultural and intellectual exchange.